This is a view of the little corner of my backyard where I've been processing one of the stems of a large maple tree that has been attacked at its root level by ants. And if I do not take it down, it will eventually be blown over by the wind and cause damage to the fence and potentially our home, which is behind me. Off to the left is some split wood from that. Off to the right, the branches, longer, small log or branches are from the top of that tree. And here in front of me is one of the main forks off of that branch. Most of the cutting has been done with that little Casterman axe over here. And I'm making this video because I have not seen any videos about the Casterman's, really nice, actually excellent or great, pick the word you like, forest axe. Well, I hope this video will trigger people out there who may have this to make their own videos. I would love to see examples of people using this axe. I don't have any favorite axe, but I use axes from major manufacturers in Europe and Australia and America. I'm especially excited in the last few years to see the quality of American axes. And they compete very well, although on a much more limited production basis, but I think it's just fine for pure craftsman-like work. But this is a sweet little axe, and I'm going to make my first ever YouTube video if I can figure out how to upload it. And if I'm done with my work, I feel it's worthy of putting out for public viewing. But my reason for putting it out there is not to say, look at me. My reason is to put it out there to say, look at this axe. And hopefully some of the expert quasi or semi-professional or even professional axe users out there will put some more up. I love watching axe videos. It's one of my favorite things on YouTube. And I've been using axes all my life, but only in the last decade or roughly, maybe a little more, have I moved up to professional quality axes and started doing more chopping. This axe with its short handle was at maybe 26 inches, I think it's 26, and this edge, which seemed to be this profile, which in my hands, for my particular way of working and hand size and whatever other variables go into make an axe right for someone, it's really good for me. And as I work through this tree from the top down, the only place where I used a chainsaw were when it was up against the fence and there was such pressure that it was safer for me to use the saw. And for the butt section, which is over the hill, it's about 17 inches or so on the butt, which I sawed into approximately 12-inch lengths for one of my friends who has a wood lathe and is going to carve those into bowls and whatever other crafty things he has. So yeah, that's all the words I'm going to say now. I just want to take this picture, show this axe in my hands, and invite others to show this particular axe, or other forest axes for that matter, in your hands. 3-pound head, I think it's a 26-inch handle, optimized, for me, optimized for both splitting and chopping. It's superb limber, and it does a nice job on these logs right here. And I've got one over here that I've been working on. I guess it was or to show it. This is a knotty higher up limb junction in the tree. Been trying to get through that knot. I'm just about through. A few more chops and it's going to go. But that little axe handles is kind of pretty gnarly stuff. I mean, if you want to do it easier, get a bigger axe. But for what I'm doing here, just playing with this axe and making friends with it and coming to understand what it can do, I think it can do more than I can. But I'm having a lot of fun. So here we go. Let's see. I'm sure I got this camera more or less. Yeah. Well, maybe a little bit more like that. First YouTube video. Hope it works. Maybe only one. We shall see. Superbly well balanced, for me anyway. Very whippy. And quite punchy. What did I say? I love this axe. I've got 3 more stems to this maple tree fell. It's probably over 4 feet on the butt. Stems are all branch out. What fun. You can catch my breath and do it again. It's going to keep me young. I'm in my 8th decade. This kind of stuff makes me think I can do more than I can probably do. Hey, as long as you're having fun and don't maybe chop someplace that shouldn't be chopped, it's all good. Next time for another or chopping on. When I used to work in the woods with a logger in my youth, we only used the chainsaw. The axes only served to drive wedges, to help with felling, and to open up logs, to help with bucking, to block pinches on the log landing. Didn't need them sharp because all the lemon we do is saws. This production industrial work, you gotta get it done. Gotta get it done to keep up with the log trucks and the skidders and the high-leads. Here, no rush, just fun. Oh, what have we got right there? Whippy. Slicey. We'll get to dicey later. This gentleman, Casterman, who makes these, I've so enjoyed getting to know him. A very recent newcomer axe forge. Producing quality products. I'll see you get to handle his bigger axes someday soon, I hope. A couple of them. Of professional quality and performance and balance and feel and aesthetics to match anything else on the market. And maybe if I was to pick my top 10 axes, if I could only have 10 axes, I don't know how to go fewer than 10, but if I could only have 10 axes of all different lengths, this baby would be in there, for sure. Length and splitting profiles, and chopping profiles. I love them all, but some love you back. This axe loves you back. I keep a close eye out for people in white coats driving down the street behind me. So far, so good. I mean, who in his right mind would talk to an axe, or a tree, or a canoe, or a beautiful lake in the wilderness that you paddle across to a perfect campsite and make fire and cook. It's probably not crazy. Unless they talk back to you. I'm not going there today. For some reason I thought it was cold out here. I seem to have come to a different opinion now. Let me see. It looks like it's still okay. Maybe I'll just switch it up a little bit. Split some of this.
little closer. So, by chopping these little logs in those little knots, that's nothing to brag about. So I watch some folks do really great jobs chopping big, long logs with seemingly tireless energy. But, take me out of the picture, this axe is something to brag about. I absolutely love how I feel a perfectly balanced extension in my hand, quippy, clean, just symmetrically clean, and elegantly balanced to perform, and it chops with great precision. As long as I hold the loose grip on my axes, they never hurt. I've never had a problem with different size axe handles yet, because I think the principle of holding a golf club is not that different from holding this end of a different kind of lever. If you hold it too tight, things go wrong and your whole body chokes. If you hold it loose, you free the tool, and all you have to do is guide it. You free the tool, and if it's a great tool, like this one is, it'll do great work, and you can keep going. I've learned that through years of mostly splitting, and only fairly recently getting into this chopping side of things. Maybe I'm talking too much. Bad aim. Okay. Let's try this again. Better. All of this goes in that wood pile back there. I would clean handkerchiefs so nobody gets grossed out. Especially any of my grandkids for whom I'm really making these videos. But I want my friend Mr. Casterman to understand why I have been so enthusiastic about this axe from the day he sent it to me. Picture's worth a lot more words, of which I tend to have too many sometimes. So back to the picture. Art comes in all different kinds of forms. Some kinds of art hangs on walls in museums. And you have to go get a college degree in fine arts and art history to figure out the right words to explain why it's art. And all those words, you have to have a college degree to understand what they mean. And there are a lot of fuzzy words, and I will not question that it's art. Because if you call it art and you believe it's art, then I guess that's all it takes. But the first art form, among the first art forms in human history, has to be cutting instruments that save your lives and help you survive and build things and make campfires you can sit around. And I love making firewood for my youth groups in my church, for my scouts. I used to be involved in greatly when my son was going through scouting programs, for my family, and for just sitting around and looking into it. So this tree has been gazing up into the sky at our star, the sun, for around 30 years. About. Soaking up all the rays that are captured here, that are going to be released. And light from the sun is translated into this tree, which is translated into this fire, which not that many years ago would have been a life-saving thing. Now it's just fun. But when we look at this and we do this kind of work with these tools that harken back to very primitive conditions, and I think of that stone axe head that someone recently showed me that looked to me like it was thousands of years old. When I think of that, and those I see in museums when they didn't have the fine steel, I think this tool here connects me to all the ancestors back through time. Did I say I'm talking too much? Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm stopping. But for the grandkids, I invite you to think about this, and we'll talk some more when we go to the museum next time. Meanwhile, This log has a big knot in the back of it. Ooh, it's got multiple knots. I'm gonna start on this end. Let's see what happens. Is it gonna be easy or hard? Bigger axe would whack this right away. This axe is gonna do just fine. Easier than I thought it was going to be. What's not to love about axemanship with good firewood that's mainly pretty clean grained? Nothing like 2 cords of locust over there, and the oak and some of the more gnarly maple from prior years. I'll get down to the root, the limb junctions, for the 4 main stems. Then I'm going big, and I'm gonna explore the capabilities of Casterman's pilot. Yeah, I think that's the proper name, pilot. And if I really get stuck, so I have a hunch. With a little patience, I can go through this whole 4-foot butt section, which is going to have several rounds cut with a chainsaw. I have a hunch that I don't need to go to my won't need to go to my bigger axes. Except insofar I can't resist the urge